5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well.
Hola.
Hola.
Homer.
He's in already.
TL. Hi, TL.
TL
Nice to
Homer.
see you.
Hello, everyone. Right, me being clever, where I took my bass off, I've now got my cable through the strap.
As you can see, the few weeks away has really paid its dividends.
Hey, Jim. How you doing, buddy? Right, we were hoping to come back all guns blazing and full of fine musical fury, but
They're just a shit.
yes, exactly. I've got
Still shit.
I've got this throat virus crap that's going round. So there's been. Shall we let everyone hear my wonderful note when I try and go for it? Okay, so for those of you who've heard us do Man in a Box before, the high note sounds currently like this. Ready? That's what we're getting tonight. That lasted longer than earlier.
Actually, that was the closest you've been so far.
That's the best I've done.
Oi, oi, Savaloy!
How's the dog's foot? He's on antibiotics now, bless his heart, and his foot. So yeah, salt baths and just trying to stop him from cleaning it and everything. So hopefully, within a week, he should be. Paul says, usual service then. Absolutely. Yes. So the songs we had planned to do tonight may take a back seat to some that are slightly easier.
Let's live on the edge, mate. Let's live on the edge.
Everything's gonna be on the edge tonight. Right, so remember, ladies and gentlemen, please, we'll go for the subscribe button, Carrie. How about that? Far left.
Oh, Carrie's back. Yay!
Carrie's back.
Carrie's back.
There it is. Right. Okay, so remember, please like, subscribe, anything. It helps bolster the channel, it helps spread it, it goes up in all the algorithms and all that shite. So also, if you're on Facebook, please share, like, follow, you know how it works. All of that stuff really, really helps. It's a simple thing that you can do, but it helps massively.
I'm not on Facebook.
No, you're not, because you're sensible. It's because you like to remain all mysterious and aloof.
Mystica.
Mysterious. Nice guitar, Simon.
Oh, thank you, TL. Yes. It's a very nice guitar.
I haven't seen that one, I don't think.
Oh, well, there you go.
Have I? I have now. Excellent, thank you.
I changed the neck on it, actually. So it this came off another guitar. I had to saw it off.
Really?
and then it's all, it's all put together. But yeah, there's a bloke in America who painted this. And
Oh,
it's,
wow.
really nice.
So is it
Really
a standard SG? Or
No, it's an SG neck with another body. But I don't know what the body was, but I just really like the paint with
Oh, cool.
the artist rendering, as you
Very
should say.
nice. Right, shall we then?
And then I fitted it out with a piezo bridge,
Oh.
so it does the acoustic stuff. And then I've got an 81 EMG in the bridge and an HA in the neck position. And that's really nice because you get quite singy. And then kind of...
Bit raspy.
Not that anyone cares, but
Yeah. Well,
it's the kind of thing I like.
for those of you who can recite all of that information by the end of the evening, you could win a mystery's prize. Go on then, press the mystery prize button, Carrie. Go on. Oh, no, back. That one.
Mystery prize.
There we go. If you can recite any of that information, you can win a mystery prize. Or we'll give you 2 points on the quiz. All right. So, let's find out what songs we're going to do. You don't know.
So let's add this up then. So your thumbs are buggered.
Yep.
Your belly's still not quite right.
Yep.
You always have back problem. You've got a dink in your head.
Yep.
And your throat's gone.
Yep.
Mate, you're falling apart.
Basically, what life is trying to do to me is say any possible career in any direction. We're going to make that as difficult for you as possible. But no, apparently, chatting on Facebook, a lot of other singers are suffering with the same thing at the moment.
I haven't been chatting on Facebook because I'm not on Facebook.
Really, Simon? Is that because you're all mysterious? All right, let's find a song to do. Carrie, could you find us? We're going to do a bit of Bad Company to start with, something that's nice and easy. Feel like making love.
I had a wonderful welcome from Mike's dogs today. They
you
were
did.
so lovely.
I'm going to grab the fender bass.
I was licked all over the face by Orion. Little Poppy came up and gave me a little lick on the cuff of my trousers, and I played ball with Hoobs. He's so sweet.
They are a beautiful bunch. We're very, very fortunate with what we've got. I never ever play this one on here, do I? Right, take it away, Carrie. I will be tuning this one. Oh, that's a bit quiet. Baby, if I think about you, I think about love. Darling, I can't live without you and your love. And if I had those golden dreams of my yesterday, I would wrap you in the heavens till I'm dying all the way, 'cause I feel I'll make you. Feel I'll make you love. Yeah, feel I'll make you love. Yeah, feel I'll make you love. Feel I'm making love to you. So baby, if I think about you, I think about love. Darling, I can't live without you and your love. And if I had the sun and moon and they were shining, I would give you both night and day of satisfying, 'cause I feel I make you. Yeah, I feel I make you love. Yeah, I feel I make you love. Yeah, I feel I make you love. Feel I make you love to you. Chicka chow, shikamo, yeah. And if I had those golden dreams of my yesterdays, well, I would wrap you in the heavens till I'm crying all the way, 'cause I feel I'm making. I feel I'm making love. Yeah, I feel like making love. F I was missing, wasn't it?
No shit, Sherlock.
There we go. Right. So, do we have a quiz question?
Yay!
Now that I've got a bass that works. Is that too loud?
Let's see how we get on.
Okay.
TL, how have you been?
Yes, dear boy.
I haven't seen you in a while.
How's the new place? How's the TL shag pad of glory?
Oh, where has he moved?
He has.
Well, obviously.
I can't
I said, where has he moved?
Remind us where you've moved to. Our memories at the moment, we can barely string together a sentence, let alone actually remember any information.
On a good day.
Yeah. So let's have a quiz question. What do we got, Carrie? In Minnesota, it is illegal to be what in bed? Dressed as a superhero, B, awake, or C, naked? In Minnesota, is it illegal to be what in bed? A, dressed as a superhero, B, awake, or C, naked? Let's find out, shall we? Right, the answers are coming in. So we have Jim with A as dressed as a superhero, Paul as well, Homer, it's very A-orientated, so it's a... So in Minnesota, apparently, people think superheroes are illegal in bed. So let's give it 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom! And the answer is naked. How dare he, sir?
So if you want any sexy times, you got to do it in the kitchen.
Or sex, it's all to do with flaps and little pockets that open up for...
Funzies with little buttons.
It's like Teletubby outfits with a bum flap. Who'd have thought it, eh? So, no winners on that one. Boo. Okay, what shall we do for our next number? Let's have a look. What do we got? Oh, bless you, Paul. You are...
You've got to see what Paul's written.
Oh, cash bribe for the win. Oh, you are a gentleman, sir. Thank you very much. We always appreciate any donations to go to the stream. It all helps. Shall we try Highway Star? As I've got to play that on drums for... I think I can remember it on bass.
Do you want to take the keys out on there as well, and then it will be like, we'll do it on Saturday?
Can you sing this?
Yeah, have you got the lyrics anyway?
I have. Yay! I might drum it. Okay. I need to practice. Right, okay.
Moved down the road from where I was. Oh, 3 Rivers, Michigan. Just about have my kitchen done. Way nicer than the senior citizen place I lived. What are you doing to your kitchen? I do like a nice kitchen, I have to admit.
Do you, sir?
Do you, sir?
Oh!
Yeah. Right. Anyway.
I'm just finding words for you. Highway Star.
Paul says, you help so many, bud. Giving up your time will support when I can, fellas. To be fair, Mike's got no friends and nobody likes him.
That's very true.
That's why he just scrounges around trying to bribe
Simon
people.
only comes here out of sympathy and charity work. Yeah.
Thank you.
So it's all on here. So we're taking out the guitars here.
Yeah.
So we've got guitar, bass. No, we've got guitar out, bass in, drums out.
Cool.
Drumsticks would be good. There.
Got some up there.
Apologies if Harry gets hit by a falling drumstick. Where's the others gone? They're there. There we go.
Mike's got his super bound sticks because he's buggered up the tendons on his thumbs, so he's having to. Normally he'd be playing like that, yeah, which is called a match grip, but he's having to do that's traditional, that's match, and he's having to play like that now.
Yep.
The Wolverine grip. Right, you ready, sir?
I will be. My students have moved things.
My students, look at him. You good?
Yep, there should be carry. There should be an auto button for Simon at the front.
We're all doing something now, aren't we?
Yay!
Hey, you ready?
I think so.
Let's go. I'm so sorry, dude. I didn't realise the drums are still on. What do you want to do? Do you want to do another one while you're there?
Should have worn my gloves. I've already chafed a lump off my finger.
Oh, in that case, then, do you want to come back?
So I'll do one more. Fuck it.
What do you want to do?
What do we got? What's on our list?
Have you got a mic there?
I can have. What is it?
What do you want to do?
Hang on, let me put my special headdress on. You have to unmute channel 1.
Right, okay. There, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Hold tight, I'm a highway star. Hello, Jackie. Josh. Hello, buddy. Yeah, Josh, I've got a bit of a boo-boo already after playing one song.
What do you want to do? Something you fancy singing?
Ooh.
Actually, do you want to do... oh, no, that'll be killer for you, Everlong.
Fuck off, Siri.
What do you want to do, mate?
Have we got Monkey Wrench on there? Can't remember if we have or not.
No, not on here.
No. What can I see from there? Sorry, everyone, to say, Josh wants Everlong.
Yeah, do you want Everlong?
Oh, fuck it. All right, Josh, you will need to kiss it better for me.
Or we can do Even Flow if you fancy.
Oh, fuck it. We'll do Everlong.
Yeah.
We'll do it for Josh. And he's going now. Bye. No, we'll do it. You can sing that one.
Let me just find the lyrics. Oh, that's nice.
Thanks. I'll do try.
How are you, Joshy?
I think he's fucking off now. Okay.
Miss the Josh Meister. Right, you ready?
Yes. I have to play the normal way and see how that goes. Here we go.
Got to stop when I say when she said breathe out so I can breathe you in, hold you in. And I wonder everything will ever feel this good forever. Everything will ever feel this good again. Only thing I ever ask of you, gotta promise not to stop when I say when. Nice one, dude. Do you want to do one more? Or
Yeah, we'll do one more. One here.
Do you fancy doing Everlong? I fancy it.
Okay. Well, do I know the words? Is the question. I'll tell you what. Can you pass me the words over? I'll find somewhere to put them. And go. I know it's just. Have I ever played? I don't think I've ever played it on drums. Okay, this will be interesting. Yep. Let's try again. That's interesting.
It's not starting anywhere sooner than that, so it's just straight in.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, oh well.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
At the moment, there it is. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it now? Dance around like butterflies. Oh, he don't know, so he chases them away. Yeah. Oh, someday, yeah, he'll begin his life again. Whispering hands gently lead him away.
Him away, him away.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, boy. Oh, bugger. Yeah, we suddenly turned into a grindcore band. You ready, Simon? 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's quite enjoyed that.
There we go. There's your little bout of like thrash metal for the evening, or black metal.
Come back and play something on bass.
Have you ever done the how to play black metal 101?
No.
Minor chord, then change. So you go like, for example, D to D sharp, so, and then go for like maybe a G to G sharp. Yeah. And then you just go.
Is that with a guitar or something else?
With
With your pee-pee?
my pee-pee. And the drums are basically this. Yep, that's it.
Right, enough enjoying yourself.
Yeah,
Come
that's enough bumfoolery. Carrie, chuck us out another question while I'm changing over. Okay, Simon, you can read this while I get myself.
In Denmark, oh you bastard. In Denmark, what is Svangerskabsorbigen the middle? Oh, that was an interesting noise. In Denmark, what is Svangerskabsorbigen the middle? A condom. B, a weapon. C, a boat.
Oh. Was it Svangerskabsorbigen the middle?
Well, that's because I've broken it down already for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's already in. That was before I even finished doing the
Gary,
word.
hit the thing. Okay, it looks like it's a fairly consistent answering session coming along here.
I mean, if that is a condom, that might mean that's why they've got a very low birth. they've got a high birth rate because no one can go in and order it.
Excuse me, darling. Did you bring one of the? No. Let's fuck.
The condom's like this big, but the packet that's got its name on it is about that big.
Right, and the correct answer is. It is a condom, indeed. All of them by the length of that word, absolutely. So, right, that means Carrie has about 6 people to now add to the list. Right. What else have we got?
want to do?
Ooh, what about... Try and move on. Actually... let's go. I did see one. Come right. What about Ever Fallen in Love by the Buzzcocks? Yep, think so, guys. Bit of old school punk. Okay, beat that. Ready, Simon?
Yeah.
You stir my natural emotion. You make me feel under. Drums are authentic. And if I start a commotion, I'll only end up losing you, and that's worse. Ever fall in love with someone? Ever fallen in love with someone? Ever fallen in love with someone you should have fallen in love with? You stir my natural emotions. You make me feel the depth of the shame. It's a shame. And we won't be together much longer unless we realize that we are the same. Ever fall in love with someone? Ever fallen in love with someone? Ever fallen in love with someone you should have fallen in love with? You stir my natural emotions. You make me feel I'm the and if I start a commotion, I'll only end up losing you, and that's worse. Ever fall in love with someone? Ever fallen in love with someone? Ever fallen in love with someone you should have fallen in love with? Ever fall in love with someone? Ever fallen in love with someone? Ever fallen in love with someone you should have fallen in love with? So ever fall in love with someone? Ever fallen in love with someone? Ever fallen in love with someone you never fallen in love with? Ever fallen in love with? Ever fallen in love with someone should have fallen in love with? It's got the edit. I think I might have turned myself down a bit too much. I can't slap for shit. I can't even do the... What's it? That's about it.
Well, that's good.
Was it?
Yeah, that's better than nothing, isn't it?
I don't know, is it? Let's have another quiz question, please, Karen. Right, what do we got? Which country has a town called Cumbum? Is it A, Ireland, B, America, C, India? Ireland, America, or India? Cumbum. Okay, so Jim is going for Ireland. Paul is going for America. So we've got a bit of a split here, finally. So we've got Ireland, America. Anybody else? Anyone else for a bit of cum bum?
Anyone for some cum bum?
Come on, people. There's got to be some cum bum takers out there.
I reckon if you could name a town, that's what you would name it.
If I could live somewhere, it would be a place called Cum Bum. But it'd be like Cum Bum on Wendy. Or something like that.
Cum Bumistan.
Cum Bumistan. Okay, right, so I think we've got 1A and 2Bs. Let's find out the answer, please, Carrie. It is India. No show on that one. They're quite tricky tonight, actually. Oh. Cum bum just dazzles everyone. Alrighty. We haven't had our chat, have we yet? Should we have a chat?
It's kind of late now, isn't it?
We could do it without beards.
Okay, then.
Just saves putting stuff down and putting these on. Carrie, would you like to instigate the chat button? Okay.
What is it?
It will tell us. Hopefully, if I've set it up right. Usually top left, Carrie, we'll do it. Let's find out.
What do you think I changed it?
I can't remember. Right.
How long did you think it was?
I can't remember. It's been a while. Okay, so let's see. I was right, my keyboard was stuck on A. Let's see what the chat topic is today.
The monarchy.
Okay. I set this up for the other week. I haven't slept since then properly, so therefore I can't remember things.
I feel you, brother.
I know.
You. Right. What's happening? Right, okay.
The monarchy. Right, it's been an interesting time over here with a new king and all that gubbins. So I think at the time we decided to let's find out what people's opinions are.
Yeah, okay.
Take it away, Carrie.
So specifically, though...
Yes?
It's...
Especially, by the way, for people who aren't in England. This would be interesting to hear what your opinion is of the monarchy.
So there is some people who are obviously... absolutely pro the monarchy, and there are people that are indifferent.
Thank you, Paul.
And there are people that are negative. So, because there was protests recently about the coronation, I was interested about it. So, what's interesting is the tax situation, one with the monarchy, and two, laws. So, did you know there's something like 160 laws of the country that don't apply to the monarchy?
That's how you get Prince Andrew.
Well, you say that, but actually one of the laws is that no one can take a civil or even against the crown. It's civil and something else, I can't remember, but can't take a case against sexual problems.
So that's a nonce protection.
It is. And also that applies for a lot of their estates and also racial, misogynistic and health and safety.
Jim says, I'm not getting into this one, it's way too political. It's only 3 minutes long, Jim, don't worry.
Yeah, it's not political. It's just interesting.
Yeah.
And the other thing is as well that they're exempt from tax. They're the only people that are exempt from the inland revenue. Can't check any of their books or any of their things. And did you know they own Regent Street and the Apple Store? So they have the Duchy of Cornwall and they have the Duchy of something else. I can't remember. And they turn in a massive billions for the monarchy. So they have a lot of farmland and stuff like that they own. So so Prince Albert in the 1700s went to the government and said, "I'm completely broke."
Was it Prince? I don't think it was Prince Albert. I think it was George.
George, you're probably right, dude. I'm probably wrong here. Yeah.
Am I right for once?
George III.
I was right.
Yeah,
Ladies and
absolutely spot
gentlemen,
on. Sorry.
we've got to have an animation. Karen, there's got to be an animation for like, fucking hell, Mike got something right. Or have you got an animation that's like, good lord? Anything? No, thank you. There we go.
So he said completely broke. So that's where they started getting a grant.
Paul just said estates, what, like a Volvo?
So he was given a load of money, and then with that he didn't pay bills or anything. He bought Balmoral, he bought, I can't remember what the other ones were. Anyway, he bought 3 estates and a big palace in Ireland as well. And so they're exempt from tax. So should there be anybody that's above paying tax? So, like, does it matter if you're the Queen, if you're a member of Parliament, if you're a big corporation? Should you be exempt from tax?
Personally, I think no, because I think that sets a precedent, or I think that sets a dangerous precedent of
inequality.
Wealth. Yeah, exactly. This is one of the things that I thought, because and also from the information you sent to me about this, is that basically the royal money pot got upped quite substantially a few years ago.
And it can never go down.
No.
So last year's sovereign grant
it went up by billions.
It was 86 million, which is the basic. That's just their basic.
Yeah.
And that they don't have to pay for any security or anything else. And then it's into the...
See, I thought Charles really missed a trick here, because with the amount of wealth that they have and the coronation, if Charles had come forward and said, even though the money is in their estate, if he said, we will pay because of the money issues that people are having and the condition of the country, we will pay for our own coronation. Even though it's like kind of a small drop in the ocean, it would have been a noble sentiment to give to the populace.
There's one dividend investment that they have that they pay no tax on, but if they did, it would put literally billions into the tax pot to pay for the NHS, to pay for schools, roads, anything like that. So it is a marked difference.
Yeah.
I just think that's really interesting.
It's something that could make a difference.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's the really sad thing about it.
And the thing is that like before, it was believed a bit like the pharaohs and stuff. Our time is up. That they were kind of God's representative. That they were something supernatural. You know, in the days of like King Henry and before that.
Yeah.
And you know, when you listen to stories about Robin Hood and stuff, where you know the taxation was ridiculous and killing people off, nothing really has changed since then, because it's just they're ordinary people born by the quirk of fate, born into
they just happen to come out of the right vagina,
yes,
in the right place at the right time. That's literally it.
But it's an interesting thing. Like, should anyone be above the law? Should anyone be exempt from taxes?
You could argue they bring lots of tourists to the UK, which pays as well. Well, this is the thing. There is that element to it.
People that's always the go-to explanation, and I completely understand.
But there's something interesting that people who often say, and I hear this a lot, is that people say, I like the history of it. I'm very interested in the history. I'm indifferent to the actual current monarchy. So the history of everything, you know, the buildings and the royal line and everything, one's van, is very interesting. And history is very it's one of those things that draws people in.
So because they're a notable thing, a bit like the Pope, a bit like, I mean, often people say, well, they bring a lot of tourism into this country, but this country has an excess of history because it basically invaded so many other couries,
yes.
and you know the basis of the Commonwealth and stuff like that, and also that yes, tourists would still come. So that's what I was saying. That the amount of history and there's.
I think the royals do.
It creates an interest, but then it's like saying, would you go to Monaco just because of the royal family? Would you go to Spain just because of the royal family there? Would you
think there is a difference with the royal family, especially the Queen. See,
that's very UK centric. We see that as, everyone knows the Queen and everyone knows, because that's what we see all the time. when you go outside of this country, it's not necessarily the same.
Is there sort of a well, as best evidence for that as you can get, that it's seen? Because I can imagine that.
So people in Spain think that everyone knows everything about the Spanish royal family.
So it is.
Yeah, in Japan, I think it's Japan or Hong Kong or whatever like that. They also have like a royal thing, and people think in the same way as America, everyone thinks
that everybody knows about American politics and the president.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
that's very interesting.
So every country is very egocentric about their own heads, you know.
Yeah.
So here we think, everyone knew about Boris Johnson or whatever, but that's not the case. No. It's really not the case because everyone's taken up by their own. But there does tend to be it's a curio. Yeah, that's the thing. It's a curio.
I think things like royal families and celebrity and all that kind of thing is a natural thing that a society creates, because I think if you go back to, for example, whether it's tribes, the strongest warrior was celebrated, or you would always get people.
There's a fascination with wealth. Yeah. So that's when you talk about celebrities and stuff like that. I know we're running over time here. When you're talking about celebrities, there is that thing of, they're living a life that we could only dream of, and that is always to do with power and wealth.
They call it the glamour, isn't it? The glamour of that is appealing.
The amount of MPs that look like a horse's arse but still have loads of affairs, and yet there is such an attraction.
Rock stars, my friend. Ugly male rock stars.
I mean, there's no way Carrie would be with you if she hadn't seen you playing on stage.
She's certainly not with me for my wealth. You didn't meet me. Yeah, she saw me at a gig, and
that was it.
Yeah. She thought, anyway, this band is shit.
It's interesting.
Why is he talking to me?
Does anyone have any comments or history or thoughts about it? It is
Paul says you're on TV, you're celebrities to us.
God, that really is hitting. Oh, you're going to do the bass solo from Orion, are you? Metallica's Orion.
It's just doing that weird thing again. I don't know. Anyway.
Right, what do you want to do? Come on, we've got 4 minutes left.
But yeah, Chuck, your opinions are always valid and interesting to us, so please do let us know your opinions. So most people I speak to these days are fairly indifferent.
Yeah, and also it's been interesting to see the change in people's attitude to the Queen and then to Charles, which I think is really interesting. Yeah. When I think actually during his lifetime, Charles has achieved more to kind of help sections of society. But it's still interesting because that whole thing of no tax and being above the law, I think, is...
It goes to show that if you've got staying power, as the Queen and the Queen Mum and all that lot had, it's one of those things that you become sort of almost like an industry standard.
I also think as well the Queen and the Queen Mum came from an era where it was that thing of like people were less educated about stuff, and they were seen as something special and different, and they were kind of seen like, they're not like us. Whereas
a bit sort of kind of almost North Korea-y. It was
very much like that. I mean, again, in North Korea, they think everyone is like Kim Jong-un is like God on earth.
That boy shit's gold.
Yeah,
literally.
And to us, we're like, he's just a figure of fun, So
he is too political and bangs on about green issues I could not care less about. That's fair enough.
See, but that's really interesting because although you're saying he bangs on about green issues, at least he's working towards something. Whereas if you look at the recent history before him, the Queen Mother, and even before that, they did nothing about the good of people.
Yes, that is very true. So
But again, just everyone's going to have a different way of looking at it.
One man's yum is another man's yuck.
He's another man's cum bum. Right, let's move on.
Okay, right, we're going to do another track. Oh, that's very true.
We've got technical issues.
What's the button on the far right say?
Oh, no.
Yeah, just press that. Okay, and that'll end the chat.
Are you going to the far right?
Carrie's going to the far right, everyone. It's all right, we'll pick a more happy subject for the next one, something a bit less political.
I actually thought that was a really interesting thing. I had loads of stuff to say there, and I haven't gone through any of it.
Oh, bugger. We'll have to do a part 2. But remember, everyone, you are free to have your opinions on this channel if we don't agree with it.
But I think it's one of those bit like kind of people are scared to voice an opinion because anything that's anti-monarchy is seen very unsociably good etiquette-wise, and people that are seen as being very pro-monarchy, similar, they can be a little bit far right. They can be very too nationalistic.
Yeah.
So I think it is a very interesting subject because of that, because it sets so much with the identity of nationalism in this country.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes, there were.
Yeah, there was that lady. She was just standing there, and the police arrested her. And no matter what she said, they just still arrested her. She was kept detained for 18 hours, and she had done absolutely nothing wrong.
Yeah.
She was just standing still.
They were so determined for nothing to interfere with the coronation. They went full on Russia on people.
But you think about that. That was a lady's freedoms violated for absolutely no reason.
No, it's completely.
And we kind of just go, oh, that's terrible. But really think about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's ludicrous. It was kind of like all the just for that specific day.
The King's Volvo had to do with it. He did used to have a Volvo back many moons ago.
Did he?
He did actually have, on one of his estates.
Oh, bless. But what I was going to say about people's opinions. Remember, everyone, when people have opinions, even if they're not opinions that you don't agree with, people are not just black and white.
Absolutely, Homer. Yeah, sorry.
So people aren't just. Like when people say, oh, they're left and they're right, everyone is a grey area of all sorts of things. We're not all just, you're this or you're this. We are made up of a cornucopia of all different emotions.
Someone's been studying the dictionary.
But emotions, opinions, feelings, experiences. That's why I really don't like when people label people like one side or the other. Because the vast majority of people are in that middle grey area.
But then again, it's human nature to
label things,
categorise things, because that's how we evolve.
Yeah.
This is mainly good and this is mainly bad. And Homer's brought up a really interesting thing. They passed a law one day before the coronation that affects any kind of protest and a way of protesting, and that is going to have major effects moving forward for people's ability to protest. And I understand that. People will see it mainly as, it's to stop the people gluing themselves to the roads and things like that. But also, just everyone should have the right to protest peacefully. And that now starts to affect that, which is shut down, cancelled or booted off the platform.
It is true. Some people do. And it is one of those things. Yes, there are... unfortunately, a minority online can wield a lot of power and can get people taken off or shut down just by screaming very, very loud.
But that tends to always be the minority. The minority always... You've always got extremes both sides, and then you have the average people in the middle are quite personable and just...
They're generally the ones who don't give a shit. They're too busy getting on with their own lives.
And it's the extremes always.
Yeah.
If you look at religion or politics or anything, it's the extremes but on the edges that scream the loudest. Anyway, let's move on and do some music.
We will. But one last thing I just want to say. What, and Simon pointed this out to me. He said, every you'll get in various decades and eras, you will get a push from one direction. There will be usually starts off from a place of where essential change is needed. Yeah. And whether it's, equal rights for, people of colour, whether it's gay rights, there will usually be a push, and it will go to a point, and sometimes it will go too far, and then you'll get the other end will push back, and eventually you'll get a kind of balance and an equilibrium, but usually with a slight progression, hopefully in the right direction. So what you're seeing at the moment, you're getting lots of people screaming and shouting, and it's been going on a little while now. The people are now starting to push back, and a lot of people who were part of the screaming and shouting are now saying, this is getting a bit too much for me. I'm going to opt out.
Also, we live in an age, thanks to social media, of outrage. It's really interesting. So Paul said the issue, they can protest, but not by walking in the road, annoying everyone else. So that's a fair comment. However, the law was passed the day before the coronation, and a load of people that were innocent were arrested. So that doesn't quite stand.
That's going to be one of those very embarrassing kind of dark blips when it comes to people's rights, and I'm hoping there'll be a push against it to try and repeal it.
Then comparing themselves to the suffragettes pretty sure it's funded by someone big, possibly oil companies. Could be, but then you could say that about anything. You could say, oh, well, they're devil worshippers, or you could speculate on anything without there being...
Who are we talking about?
I think Paul's talking about people that were demonstrating on the roads and killing themselves and whatever else. I presume that. If I'm wrong, then please tell me. But
we're always...
Yeah. You can presume lots of things, but without any evidence, it's hard to know. So,
and then, hopefully, if you discover new evidence that is actually of worth and note, then your opinion
change your worldview.
Yes.
Right, what do you want to do?
Right, okay, we're going to do one more, and then we'll read out who has won the quiz.
Thank you for joining in, though.
Yes. Yes, we do love to have your opinions, and we do love a dialogue with you guys, because you're lovely people, you're intelligent people, and it's a place where we like to be able to share ideas and hopefully learn something new.
What we doing?
I don't know yet. Bit of Nirvana?
Yeah. What do you want to do?
You right with Breathe?
Yes.
Do you want to sing it?
Yeah.
Okay. That timing was amazing. Thank you, Lawrence.
I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care if it's on. I don't mind, I don't mind, I don't mind, I don't mind, don't ever mind. Get away, get away, get away, get away, wait from you. I'm afraid, I'm afraid, I'm afraid, I'm afraid, I'm afraid. 'Cause even if you have, even if you need, I don't need to say, we don't have to breathe. We can grow a house, we can build a tree. I don't really care, we can do a three. She said, 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 she said. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care if it's on. I don't mind, I don't mind, I don't mind, I don't mind, don't ever mind. Get away, get away, get away, get away, wait when you're home. I'm afraid, I'm afraid, I'm afraid, I'm afraid, I'm afraid. 'Cause even if you have, even if you need, I don't need to stare. We don't have to breathe. We can grow a house, we can build a tree. I don't really care. We can do a three. She said, 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 she said. Even if you need, I don't really care. We don't have to breathe. We can grow a house. We can build a tree. I don't really care. Fucking do a three. She said, 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 she said.
Oh, is that you?
I moved my balls, and that's the sound we got.
Excellent. All right, let us find out who is the winner of tonight's quiz.
So
Carrie.
what did Paul...
What's
I can't see who said that.
I think Carrie said, was it something monarchists are part of... What was that, Carrie, you said?
I think the...
Are the anti-monarchists are part of Extinction Rebellion, so I doubt it would be oil, was they are very against that.
Yeah.
Okay. Paul said, no, I mean in the tabards, etc. They're paint they're painting the signs, the glue, they are the biggest hypocrites.
Talking about Extinction Rebellion or whatever being hypocritical for using all those.
Oh, I see. Saying they're being hypocritical for using those materials and things like that. I see. Sorry, who is JSO? Just Stop Oil. Okay. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there. They're all in cahoots. The crazy thing is, if global warming was such an issue, you would not be able to get a mortgage as how you pay it back. Oh no, I think the case if there's global warming, depending on what you believe, isn't it something like 98% of climate scientists acknowledge that there is a problem?
99.9, yeah.
So, again, it depends how you want to look at the evidence. You can either cherry pick the evidence that suits what you want to believe, or you can look at the general consensus by the vast majority of the scientific community.
Sorry, Paul, I don't understand that. They are in cahoots. The crazy things, if global warming was such an issue, you would not be able to get a mortgage.
I think it's natural. I think parts of it, yeah,
Why-
there has
why
been...
would you not be able to get a mortgage?
Because he's saying that if global warming, if basically the end of the world was nigh due to global warming, they wouldn't offer mortgages because how would you pay them back? That's what he's saying. But one thing you have to remember is when it comes to, for example, changes
but
in...
mortgages is a financial issue. So what happens with a mortgage is they lend you money on the basis that they're going to earn interest. So they earn interest the whole time, and it's underwritten by insurers.
I think, yeah, but what he means is if there's the whole point of having a mortgage is that you pay it back with interest, but therefore if the future is bleak...
But that would be saying like, well, if global warming is true, then no one would be getting a promotion.
But again, it depends. Mortgages are kind of like...
Or if global warming was true, then no one would have a baby.
Yeah, but
or if global warming was true, then you wouldn't take a long-term subscription with a online service.
Your favourite jazz mag. I kind of know. I mean, how would you earn it with not hearing? Yeah, I understand what you mean, Paul. But I think one of the other things that you have to with things like global warming, the way that people portray it is that it will be, oh my God, there's going to be this sudden impact and everything's going. It's not going to be like that. It will be a gradual process where, say, as sea levels rise, people will have to migrate to higher areas. There will be change all over the world.
But we're seeing the changes now.
Oh yeah, the changes are showing, and the changes that we are seeing are more where people are saying, "Oh, it's just natural and it's happened before."
But even if it's natural or it's not natural, but the globe is getting warmer.
Yeah, and it has happened.
So and you don't need to be a scientist. You can. So there's a thing called the National Office of Statistics, and they chart just so many. It's such an interesting thing to go and visit. And you can visit the government website, and if you don't believe our government, you can check any other government, because every government has a National Office of Statistics, because rules, regulations, budgets, everything has to be agreed on the basis of gathered factual evidence. So if you look at that, there is actual charted evidence from the people that do the weather. I forgot what they're called.
The Met Office?
Met Office, yeah. Thank you, Carrie. And it charts the mean global average of temperatures and also sea temperatures, and that has been steadily rising. So that it.
I think what his point is that
in doubt.
One of the arguments against global warming is people saying that in the past the Earth has heated up, the Earth has cooled, there has been drastic weather events, so people therefore look at our current time and go, well, it's happened before, so it's not us doing it.
Yeah.
But the evidence is there to show that, okay, in the past it may have happened and it was a natural thing in the past. If somebody lets off the amount of CO2 and the amount, we are going to change it. And the thing is, we have changed. I think you would have to look, and unfortunately we don't have statistics for that, but see what you think of this, Simon. You would have to look at the period of time where the Earth has heated up and the span of time it has taken without the influence of man adding to that.
So that's essentially the thing.
So we are accelerating, maybe a natural phenomenon, but we are accelerating it with everything we do.
So Stephen Hawking is very famously a very well-respected scientist, no longer with us. He said the two biggest dangers to mankind is global warming and AI. And he didn't say that lightly. So if you look into his writings and his studies and stuff like that, and you read his literature, you'll see that it's based on evidential data. And so, I mean, I'm certainly not any cleverer than Stephen Hawking, so I hand over to somebody who knows a lot more than me, who does know about such things and does know how to interpret the data and does know what data to trust and what data not to trust. And I take what he says very seriously. I also listen to other arguments that say, you know, there's always been natural curves. There's been a previous ice age. This is well documented. But exactly what you were saying. So if you're in a room on your own, this is a very bad example, so I apologise for this, but just an example, an analogy. If you're in a room on your own and it's quite cool or quite cold, that's one thing. Then if you're then joined by 1,000 other people in that same room, the temperature rises because people create heat. Now, you would say, well, then there's also animals, etc., etc.
See you later, Jim, buddy. Thank you for joining in.
But if you add to that the amount of... So the human race generates 46 billion metric tons of CO2 a year.
Now, there is no way that people can... And we know what that does. We scientifically know the effect that has on the environment and everything.
Yeah.
So how can anybody say that we do not have an impact and we are not accelerating? It's. I suppose a way you could look at it is that if you take your analogy, if you were in a room with one smoker, okay, and you were passively breathing in that smoke. Now, you could say, over however many years you could develop lung cancer from that one passive smoke. If you had a room full of people passively smoking and you were breathing in all of that, you cannot deny that all of that is having an effect on you.
Right.
So
I was just reading what TL wrote there.
I have a pot box. If I put too much O2 in, the plants will get hot and die. Simple, basic science. Think of the globe as a big pot growing box. There we go.
Yeah, nicely put.
Nicely put. Thank you, Tio. But yeah,
Pot as in cannabis, or does he mean pot as in?
I presume he means cannabis. That's what I presumed.
Yeah, I think. But one of the things that's really frustrating about the current generation and also the amount of disinformation out there, it used to be the fact that people who studied these things for their whole careers and their lives were the people we looked to for answers. The same as if you've got a guy who's been working on cars all of his whole life, on specific like areas of cars and knows that car inside out, and then you've got your mate Jeff who's looked at a car once because a video was put online, and you go, oh right, well my mate Jeff knows better than this person who has done this for their whole life. It's so frustrating that is now the course that a lot of people take.
But then also, I think there's always that thing that sometimes you can have so much information, and also everyone has their own natural leaning, whether they want to believe or not. So it is hard sometimes to evenly take in all the information, work it out, and then, make a judgment.
There's so many elements at play, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. I think we're all learning all the time, and science is constantly changing. They say every 25 years, 40% of science changes, so something like that as a statistic. So things are always changing, and so this is the current belief. It might be that it will change differently, and
it has.
And also everyone's opinion matters. It just it depends how much.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I think there needs to be we could all learn to be a bit humble in the face of people who know more than we do.
Yeah.
And
also as well, it's sometimes people. You've got that muddying the waters as well, where people present themselves as knowing stuff really well and don't, or they and then you find out someone who came forward and said they found this, that, and look at the whole thing about WMDs back in the early noughties, and it was a load of bollocks. Yeah, it was being put forward by people that people trusted, and that breaks people's trust in in what's going
I
on.
think
So I completely understand.
It's so
that.
important to have, if people are putting information out there, if people do have counter information and they can disprove the current information, that's incredibly important.
Yeah.
But one of the things that, again, very frustrates me is when somebody presents information, that information is disproved, and then their response is, but what about this?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, are you even going to acknowledge that what the information you've presented isn't accurate anymore? And
Yeah, but that is a difference of opinion, though, isn't it? Everyone's something. So TL said it's become political. The science is too easy on this, and then Paul's come back saying science is subjective and objective. And I think I agree with both of you there. Absolutely. It depends where you're standing, what your truth is. You know, so some people will interpret the science in a particular way that seems right to them, and other people will take that same data and interpret it slightly different. So I think before there used to be more of a rigid situation where you had people that, you know, they're a scientist, they're the experts. But now everything is so, there's a lot of pseudoscience, there's a lot of pseudo-intellectualism as well.
And there's a lot of people who are funded by certain people, so therefore the science might lean towards...
And also people's trust in what was deemed the institution or the constitution has changed as well.
That's a good point, actually. Do you think, because of the internet age, obviously there is misinformation out there, but do you think now that because people are starting, for example, in governments and how governments operate, it's harder now for example, the government to hide things because people seem to be able to find out things a lot easier and see the inner workings.
But then there's also such an acceleration in disinformation. You know, places like China, Russia, and I'm sure it's the same across Europe and this country and America, where they've got, you know, trolling farms where, you know, they specifically target social media and stuff to plant stories where people think, I've actually got the real evidence here, and so people don't know what to trust.
I think there's a combination. I think there's
people... lockdown. Science says we should lock down without realising the consequences. Don't get me started on masks.
But I do think with the misinformation there is also now the ability to see the inner workings of things and see there's more evidence of corruption coming out because it can be found easier. It's harder to pull the wool over people's eyes. So I think people are becoming naturally more distrustful because they're starting to see the cracks in their institutions and governments. So therefore, then when people are presenting misinformation, they're more likely to believe the misinformation because they've got no trust in the people who they had the information from originally. So with that, it's that...
I think, again, Paul's made an interesting point there. So many people think that lockdown was completely pointless. So many people think that COVID was just a misnomer, complete rubbish, and also about the jabs and stuff. They believe that there's a massive conspiracy, and again, like so much of that is fueled by people getting their news from social media. And also as well, before where you used to have really good journalism, now you just have AP, you know, the Associated Press, goes out on the line and then people just cut and paste stories in. Sometimes I'll be reading online news and it's so badly cut, spelling mistakes, the poor grammar, where things have just been cut and pasted badly. And so, you know, me personally, I read what scientists say. I read a lot of the papers coming out of the science institution. So you were reading that because I'm no virologist, obviously. I'm no expert in virology. But, you know, you look at the people that are, and you read what they're saying and and so many people thought masks were so that you don't pick up things, but it wasn't. It was to try and limit the amount of spittle.
Spray.
Yeah, spittle and spray coming out of your own mouth so that you didn't pass it on to other people.
But it also
and it had a minor effect, but it was better than nothing. And that was the kind of idea of it. And I can understand Paul probably thinks that that's, you know, a load of nonsense. And, you know, he's entitled to that opinion, you know, because what he must be reading as well must be making him feel very strongly that was the case.
Yeah, it's...
Anyway,
yeah.
So we've gone on way over.
Yeah.
Do you want to do another song? Or are you calling it?
No, I think we're going to call it a day.
Okay.
But
Thank you so much for
Yes.
joining in. It's really nice to hear people's opinions, whatever your opinion. It all. Oh yeah, we got the who won?
Yes.
Who won? The
But no,
quiz.
just as Simon was saying, though, it's great that we can have these conversations with each other, and you know, we can all be respectful for each other. We may not agree with each other, but if we could just remain respectful and say, okay, so that's your opinion, that's fair enough. You know, providing we're not all calling each other names and being horrible to each other, then civil discourse is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, and also as well, it depends what everyone's input is, what they read and stuff like that, where their opinions will be based. So you know.
Indeed. Right, so
Right,
the winner is... What do we got? Oh, we do actually have a winner, and it is... Go on, Gary. Press the table scoreboard button. Jim, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, you bumheads. Absolutely. Come bumheads. So Jim, because he's left and he said he's going to go and practice his drums, is the winner.
Yay!
So, Jim, if you're out there, Jim. Right, so Carrie, the question is, what has Jim won? Let's find out. Ready, everybody? What has Jim won? He has won a very sinister frog caught on a nocturnal camera.
Bless his heart.
That frog's about to do some shit. I'm gonna do some shady shit, doo-da, doo-da. I'm gonna get away with it, doo-da, doo-da-dee.
I think he's like Hypnotoad from Futurama.
Hypnotoad. All right, thank you, Jim. Well done, and we will speak to you. We'll send you a message to say what song would you like next week. Hopefully, my voice will be better than this because I've got a gig the weekend and I'm starting to get worried. So,
Are you with us this weekend?
Friday.
Yeah, you are, aren't you? Yeah.
I'm drumming with you Friday, and I am singing in our agency name as Deja Blue.
Oh, you're joking, really?
Yeah, it's what Recovered used to be before it became Recovered.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's a random gig for the Masons.
Wow. I used to do loads of the Masons gigs, and you always used to have to do the
Kermit casing the joint.
you used to have to do Land of Hope and Glory at the end.
Oh, really? We're definitely not doing that. Absolutely not. So. All right, everyone. So I'm gigging with you. What are you doing Saturday? Do you know?
I don't know. No idea.
Oh well, if you're Friday, where is it? The Papillon in Southend.
Papillon, yeah.
Papillon. Is it Papillon?
I believe so. Yeah, it's supposed to be a butterfly, isn't it? Papillon.
Le Papillon.
Le Papillon.
Right. Was that racist?
No, I did nearly make a little sex wee there. I got rather turned on by that. Yeah.
Or that?
No, that doesn't do it.
Shitty.
And then he brought me back with the show.
Okay, everyone. Take care. All the best.
Have a lovely week. Look after yourselves and be kind.
I'm DJing St Jude's on Friday. Awesome, Paul.
Oh.
If you're in Ipswich, everyone, on Friday, go hang out with Paul. He's a fantastic guy, fantastic DJ. Get your groove on. Get your groove on. All right, everyone. All the best. Mwah. Take care. See you later.